want to go back to my theme of, of talking to American middle class folks, and I think, this is root causes issue of, why people are hungry for these kinds of enforcements. And it isn't, part of it is certainly, they broke the law, but part of it also is this sense that, that really immigration offers this simple but fundamentally flawed explanation for some big social issues that are going on in the United States today. And one of them on this particular issue, I think, is this sense that, there was this time when we really honored this kind of labor, and that, people could make a middle-class wage doing the kind of work. And that part of the reason why that isn't true anymore must be because of this importation of this cheap labor and the exploitation that must be going on. I think that's part of why people are willing to support these raids. And I think we have to confront those issues. I mean, it was easy to honor that labor when, as I said, half of our workforce in the late 1960s was doing it. But when only 11% of your native-born workforce is doing that, it's easy, I think, to really not value that as much as we used to before. And I think that really is much more profound issues that we're struggling with. This isn't really about immigrants coming in and doing that labor and causing our declining respect for those workers. The reality is that whoever we get to replace those workers that we kick out in those raids, those workers aren't going to have health care. Whether they're native-born or foreign-born, those workers are going to live in communities where their schools are underfunded and underperforming, right? So these huge social issues are I think, what we've got to get at. I'm actually in favor of raids. I think you got to roll into a business, and instead of asking where they're from, you ought to say, what are your working conditions? What kinds of wages are you getting? Are you allowed to organize? Are you being exploited? If that's the root concern that's driving the appetite for enforcement, then let's go at those root causes. Let's find the respect for that workforce that we used to have and was easy to have when half of the workforce were high school dropouts. It's much harder to find that respect for that workforce when we see the future of our children in more skilled labor, and we see the arrival of a different kind of people that are doing that work. So I think we really got to get at that root causes of how do you respect, value, and protect that labor force. I think regardless of